Welcome to the Lifted Lifestyle Podcast. This is a call to action to live above limitations that try to disrupt your peace, steal your joy, and limit your access to your best life. I'm Latasha Weatherspoon, your favorite host, joined today by my favorite host, Mr. Chaz Bailey.
Hello, world. I'm Chaz Bailey, the COO, Creative Opportunities. You can find me online on Twitter at simply Chaz Bailey or Instagram at the Creative Opportunities.
How you feeling today, Mr. Bailey?
I'm feeling good. I had a sip of cold water, so I'm ready to go. I'm hydrated. I'm ready.
Tell me
to
that's
make
all
it
it
happen.
takes.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
Note to self. That's all it takes.
A sip of water. That's all you need. Heals everything.
Yes, it's kind of hot today.
Cold water.
Yeah, hence the cold. Okay, it's starting to all make sense now.
Cold water. But it feels great.
Good. How about those Rockets? Go Rockets. I'm wishing you guys the best of luck, sending y'all some good positive vibes. Y'all need all that.
Yeah, they need all of it.
Hey,
Notice
now.
I'm just smiling.
Hey, now. I'm going to send that with you guys today. Today we are going to talk about something that we touch on every single show. So what better way to introduce it than to talk about what are you grateful for this week?
Oh, well, simply, I'm grateful for a lot of things, but to be honest with you, I'm actually grateful to have a podcast, this media, because it's something that seems larger than life, and I would never imagine to be a part of it, and to see how it touches others and it's able to reach across the globe. It's just a great feeling, and that just comes from me being a part of it. But then other people that have podcasts, you're doing the same thing, so I think that's just amazing to get your perspectives, get your thoughts, get your energy that you have about whatever subject you're passionate about, and it's easily accessible throughout the world instantly. So I'm definitely grateful for that, and I understand the opportunity that I have. So all smiles on my side for that.
Awesome. I'm grateful for so many different things, but I think the thing that I'm most ever present grateful for is health and strength.
You gotta give two though.
Okay.
Because last week she didn't give one. She just said mine when we went into the show. So
Did you put me on the spot?
Yeah.
Did you put me on the spot?
And I ain't all the way saved. Yes, I'm holding grudges.
Petty Bailey. I see.
I'm holding grudges.
Okay,
no, I'm just
Petty
kidding.
Bailey. Okay, so I am grateful for health and strength, for the ability to walk and talk and use my body and limbs. I am also grateful for the loyal Lifted Lifestyle followers and clients. I will be speaking this weekend in my hometown of Ville Platte for the very first time ever,
Yeah, that's big.
So
that's huge.
I'm really excited about all the love that I've been getting. People in other parts of the state are reaching out to me saying, hey, I'm driving into Ville Platte from Houma, from New Orleans, from Baton Rouge to hear me speak. You know?
That's awesome.
So
that's
I
awesome.
am always humbled and blown away by the support that people show me and the Lifted Lifestyle. So I want you guys to know that I am forever grateful for your belief in me and my vision.
That's awesome.
There's your two, Mr. Bailey.
All right, I'll be quiet.
You're Petty Bailey for the rest of the show. So that, guys, brings us into our show for the week. We're going to be talking about gratitude, what gratitude is and how it impacts our day-to-day lives and how it makes us better or not, but
No, that's true. That's true. It's something like, if you've been following us, it's something we follow each and every week.
Definitely.
And we expounded on it, just like you said, grateful. So am I, as far as the Lifted Lifestyle followers, and remember, we still have the Spring Clean Your Life special going on. So this is a avenue, a part of that, because being grateful just opens up everything. But as you see, it's our coaching special. You have 4 coaching sessions reduced price, access to not only us but our library, everything that we have to offer. So definitely take note of that. Visit us online at liftedlifestyle.com. You have any questions? I'm Chaz at theliftedlifestyle.com. She's Latasha at theliftedlifestyle.com. Or you just hit us up on info at theliftedlifestyle.com. Just the common denominator is theliftedlifestyle.com.
Just go to the website and you can find all the things that you need.
Everything you need. So but definitely being grateful is like, that's the start of our show, and it can be the start of our lives as well. So definitely remember to stay grateful.
So let's talk about gratitude as a daily practice. So guys, I brought with me my gratitude jar. I don't know if you guys can see, it says gratitude right there. And I make it a habit every day to add something to this jar that I'm grateful for. I actually have an overflow jar where I take the things out and, when it gets a little bit full. But why should we have a practice of gratitude every day, Mr. Bailey?
Well, the first thing, it gives you perspective.
In your opinion.
Yeah,
and
in
then
my opinion.
I'll tell you some of the things.
It gives you perspective. It gives you perspective. Simply as that. Because, I let you in on my life, and something I changed to show my gratitude, not only for everything that I'm a part of each day, but my morning ritual used to be I roll out of the bed and I'll read the news. And as you know, the news can be kind of, disheartening sometimes. So the first thing that enters my realm would be something negative. And so my perspective on the day may be shaped by that moment in the morning. And so something I decided to do is just to leave that alone. And I wake up and I just thankful, first of all, for waking up, open my eyes, because I understand that some people weren't able to do that. And it gives you perspective. It gives you a new understanding on what life has to offer, what this day has to offer. I go down my list and see what goals I have today and just try to attack them and head on and do the best I can. But overall, the number one thing I believe gratitude does instantly is give you perspective, and it kind of changes your mindset with that.
For me, when I think about it gives us perspective, I think about it in terms of if I'm focused on the things that I'm grateful for, then I don't have time to be focused on the things that take away from my energy, take away from my light. And don't get it misconstrued. We all have bad days, but even on my bad days, I try to shift my mind to something that I'm grateful for, something that I'm thankful for in that moment. In coaching, I tell people all the time, if you are in a career or a job that you don't like, one of the easiest ways to shift your focus is to see your job as an investor. Your
definitely.
job as an investor in your dreams and your purpose and what you want to do next. So shifting your thinking to, I'm grateful that I have this job that can pay my bills, that can position me to step out on faith when it's my time to walk in my calling, as opposed to, man, I hate this job and I hate my boss and X, Y, and Z.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to plagiarize myself from our spring cleaning show. So that's my source.
You can't plagiarize yourself, Jay.
Yes, you can't, trust me.
You didn't give yourself permission?
Yeah, you got to write everything on that paper. So
shout out to the Venturous firm, Shout out to the Venturous firm. We learned that from her. Write everything down, get it in writing. But honestly, one of the things I remember saying on that show that just came to me was that one of the areas of spring cleaning is cleaning your windows, clean your lenses. And so by cleaning your lenses on yourself, what that does is allows you to change your focus. It changes how you see the world, and that's what perspective does. So, for example, as I've spoken, waking up, reading the news, and seeing all the different negative things that are happening, that day is started with a negative view. So if I started off with a positive view, that means it doesn't mean negative things won't happen. It just means I can be more optimistic because I started my day off on the right foot and the right mindset. So when I look at a dire situation as in the news, I'm looking at it as, how can I be of assistance to keep this from happening in my small spot in the world? And something around Houston that comes up a lot, we discuss like homelessness in the city. And just think about it. If you change your perspective and how you view things,
When you come to a traffic light and you see a homeless person that may ask for change or what have you, think of it this way. If your view is negative, you may view that person as a beggar, as all these negative things. But in a positive light, you may say, hey, I want to be of assistance to this person. I may not have money, I may not have this, but I have time to say, hey, good morning, how's your day? Make sure you watch out for the heat today. Things like that. It gives conversation. Now your perspective has allowed yourself to step out of the norms that you see in the news and make someone's day even better.
When I was reading about gratitude, one of the things that was kind of repeated was gratitude is rooted in humility. So I think that when you can step away from your personal experience, you can step away from the marring of just having something happening to you and seeing the world outside of yourself. I think that it gets real clear how good you have it, even in moments that are not necessarily the best moments in our lives. Having a spirit of gratitude and rooted from a sense of humility will allow us to realize that, what, it's bad, but it could be worse.
Exactly.
It's bad. I may not have all the money that I want to have, but my bills are paid.
Exactly.
I have a place to live.
Yes.
Look at this person.
That's
they don't
true.
have what I have. How many times have you asked yourself, would someone else trade places with you effortlessly?
Yeah. That's powerful. That's really powerful.
Just putting yourself in a spirit of mind that even in my worst moment, there's someone else that would trade where they are to be where I am, to have what I have.
Yeah.
I think that we are often, we're often going through life, from our own perspectives, but you have to make sure that your perspective is wide and deep and is not shallow and laser focused.
Yeah, kind of like not a one-way street, because a lot of times, growing up, you may see your idol or whatever that may be or whoever that may be and say, man, I wish to trade places with them. But think on the other end, as you just said, someone is waiting and willing to trade places with you. You may not be the top singer in the world. You may not be the number one actress or what have you, but somebody is looking at every move you make and wish they had that opportunity to be you. And at times it leads me to the point of something you said earlier, is just overall weighing the good versus the bad. Because it's kind of like those activities when they say you want to make a decision, put all the good options on the table and then put all the bad options on the table and see which way it fares. And a lot of times me being an optimist, I believe if we all do that in our lives in terms of gratitude, we will all end with our pendulum switched to the good side. More than anything, because
if we just
so
took
easy.
assessment, a lot of times we take assessment so much more of what's going wrong in my life, but it comes from a place of being conditioned by society that we should always have more. No matter how good of a job you have, unless you are a multimillionaire, someone will say you should always have more. No matter how many degrees you have, someone will always ask you, when are you getting the next one? We are in a society that's rooted around the journey of obtaining more.
Yes.
And I think that we have to be active and intentional about saying, I am enough. I have enough. This moment is enough. Because when you look at your moments, your life experience, your material things, your skills, your talents, everything as enough, that's when you can be grateful.
Yeah, definitely. That's
when
true.
You can even, like, some mornings I wake up and I say, thank you, body.
Yeah.
Thank you, body, for operating. It's easy to get focused on getting summer ready, right?
Yeah.
And to losing those 20 pounds. But how many times do you stop and just say, thank you, heart, for beating?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, lungs, for expanding. You know,
Yeah, no,
I
that's
think that
that's
we
real.
often don't take moments to think about those things until they're gone,
Yeah,
until our hearts don't work
exactly.
anymore, until we, we're sickly. And, working in a hospital will show you real clearly, real quickly, how much you have to be grateful for.
Yes,
you know?
I think that's spot on.
So gratitude will shift your perspective. It will make you realize just how much you have, even when you're on the journey to obtaining more.
No, that's true. That's true because once you realize what you have, then kind of as if what you say, I'm just gonna pick up where you left off, is that when you reach your point of enough, when you reach your content moment, then that doesn't mean to keep pursuing in life or whatever your business is or whatever your goal is. But then you can look at, man, everything else that comes along is a bonus.
Yes.
It is a bonus. Like, I'm
Definitely.
here, I'm good. It's a bonus. It's kind of like when you were speaking about the Rockets, when you hear about different players that get their first shot. They may not be the superstar, but they get a shot. So to step in an arena such as the NBA, you're automatically one of the best basketball players in the world. So then you have been, chosen to be a part of something that's very unique. And you hear the gratefulness in their voices when they say, this is amazing. They may not never win a championship or anything, but if they do, it's a bonus. But to just step on the court, have their jersey on, and receive a little money for something they're willing to do for free is a point of saying, you know what? It's a bonus. Like, if I never play again, I'm good, because guess what? You can look online. I always played, and I reached my goal. I reached the max of what I wanted. And that doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying to be great and be the greatest ever, but everything that comes along after that is simply a bonus, and I'm content. I think that's one place that we should strive in life to be content, not settling, but being content in what we do. But it stems from the foundation of being grateful.
And I think especially when it comes to material things,
Yeah.
We will never have enough.
Oh no, they always making something.
They're always they're always.
I
making
thought I was
something.
cool. I said I got the iPhone 10, got the double things and all of that. And I heard today they got 3 more coming out in September. I was like, well, let me put my little phone away.
But that goes back to, like I said, is societal conditioning.
Exactly.
But when you think about, focusing on what you have, really makes you grateful for what you have. Oprah, hey Oprah girl, if you're watching, one of my favorite quotes by Oprah, I'm going to share it with you guys today. And it says, be thankful for what you have, and you'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough.
That's true.
So I think that when it comes to looking at what you already have, looking at material things, focus on what it is you have.
Yes.
Being thankful for what it is you have. Finding peace in where you are in order to allow yourself to attract new things. Because that's something else that gratitude does for me. When I am content and I am at peace and I'm not hustling and bustling to get whatever, that's when I end up having the things that I desire most.
Yeah.
When I'm at peace and most grounded and happiest with what I have, just at peace with, I have enough, bags, shoes, clothes. That I'm not gonna. He gonna use this against me.
Yeah,
later,
it's in the world.
He's
now.
gonna use this against
It's in the world.
That I was gonna say that I don't ever need another one, but let me change my language. Let me say I have enough bags, shoes, and clothes to bless someone else to make room for more.
All right, that's a nice little spin on it. We know
I
the
had to
truth.
put a little spin on it, put a little sugar on it.
Yeah, put a little sugar on it. So that my fee's gonna start. I said, well, I didn't get the rest of that statement. I'm gonna do what the media does sometimes, just cut it off.
Oh, wow. That's how you gonna do it?
Reality
Okay.
TV.
But my point was, when I am in a place of being content with the things that I already have is when, God makes room for me to have more. Yeah. And I think it's like that for us all. You
No,
know,
I agree.
when you are content with your life and being alone and being a whole person is often when you find the love of your life, i.e. Mr. Bailey. You know, once I
Agree.
got to a place where I was content and I wasn't like, you know, crying all the time and focused externally, but my focus was internally, I was ready. I
Yeah.
think it happens like that with everything in our lives.
No, I agree, and I was just having flashbacks because one of the points when you were giving your points, it let me realize that it also strengthens your love and appreciation for what you already have.
Indeed.
And what that did for me, it just took me to a moment of playing little city league basketball, and my team was horrible. When I say we was horrible, we were coached poorly. We were just trying. It was just bad. But I went through the whole first half of the season just upset because I want to win the championship. I was that guy that was like championship or nothing, you know. But once I hit that breaking point, and I had to realize that, you know, it wasn't happening when you 0-5, and I was like, it's not happening. But that's when I leaned on my friends who were my teammates, and we actually that was one of the best seasons ever because we bonded. We had jokes and had a good time because even though it was a terrible situation in my perspective because I wanted just championship, but when I became grateful because like who gets to play on the team with their friends or ended up being close friends with their teammates. So once I did that, I was like, man, this is all right. Like, I'll do this again. I know we losing every game right now, but it's fun. I'm seeing you guys. We having a good time out here. And after the game, we're not pouting. We just like, that's what happened, whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. So I had calmed down. It was like a lesson in life for me because it allows you to see other things that mean more. It allows you to have appreciation. And so that's one thing that I took from that, and that's one thing that gratitude does for you because when you're content, it allows you to step back and say, you know what, I'm thankful for just being here in this opportunity. I'm thankful for my current car. I'm thankful for my job, you know, because a report comes out monthly of the unemployment rate, and it's never zero. So you're doing great, you know.
Yeah.
So things of that nature, like I'm thankful for it. I want more, but I'm thankful. So that's one thing that sticks out to me. It just shows you that appreciation for what you already have.
There was a study by Positive Psychology Progress that said 5 minutes of a gratitude practice or 5 minutes of gratitude journaling will add more than 10% increase to your life.
Wow.
Just the long-term benefits
Yeah.
of stopping to be grateful based on science, based on, you know, psychological principles is actually amazing. You know,
Yeah,
who
that
would have
is.
thought that? But then when you think about it and you're looking at it from a scientific standpoint,
Yeah.
when you're focused on gratitude and you're focused on the things that you're the most grateful for, you're less stressed.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
and we all know that stress is the number one cause of heart disease, stroke, and so many other ailments.
Yeah,
you know,
many different ones. And one thing also that study pointed out is that while doing that 10% of your life, it equals the same amount of percent of adding value to your life as doubling your salary. So think about it.
Wow.
We're chasing the money. We're chasing all of these things for increase, and something that doesn't cost a thing, something that no one has to give us, something that we already have in our pockets, we can use and have the same effect, long-term effect on our bodies as your boss or whomever walking in and just saying, you know what, I'm doubling your salary today.
But you know, and when you think about it, though, that makes perfect sense to me because when you're operating from a place of gratitude and you're going to your job, you're more than likely going to do a better job and be more productive.
Oh,
because
definitely.
your mind state is saying, well, this job for me is a stepping stone. This job for me is a means to creating the lifestyle that I desire.
Yes.
Once you shift your focus away from the day-to-day interactions, I can see how it would make a positive increase in your career.
No, that's
know?
spot on because I think right now, if let's say I'm at work and somebody taps me on the shoulder and say, you know, check online, I just doubled your salary. I may move that pen a little faster, you know, like I may show up like 30 minutes earlier, you know, those type of things happen. And so I think, you know, along with you, that's completely honest because that's one thing that we have to take heed of it. It's something we already have. We're basically giving ourselves a raise in the game of life.
Yes. So speaking of things that we're grateful for, I am definitely grateful for the people who are joined us on Facebook right now.
Hey, Facebook.
I see that we have. Oh, look at that. We have the CEO of the Venturous firm,
Hey,
Miss
Miss
Lisa Venturous Lemons, who says be content and not complacent.
Yes.
We have Stacy Sam watching with us, who gave us an okay sign to gratitude.
Yes,
we have
I like it.
Sade Burrell. I hope I pronounced your last name correctly, and Tiffany Franklin, and a host of other people watching with us. Make sure that you share this show with
definitely.
your friends, your followers. If you found something that was beneficial to you, don't be selfish. Share and tell the people that you're grateful to be here with us on the Lifted Lifestyle. If there's something that we can do better, drop us an email and tell us that too.
Yeah,
we
definitely
want
let us
you guys to hold us accountable, as well as we are doing this because it is our purpose. So we want to make sure that the things that we're putting out into the world are a benefit to the people that follow us and support us. And again, we are so grateful for you.
Yes. Perfect segue.
Yes.
So,
and I was watching this study, and it was talking about happiness.
Okay.
And it says there was this happiness challenge that went viral like a few months ago. I don't know how I missed it. But they were talking about one of the ways to be happy was to focus in on the things that you already have.
Okay.
To get a gratitude journal or a gratitude jar. Or some other means of making it a daily 5-minute practice to tell one thing that you're grateful for that day, or that was positive that day. And for me, in my gratitude jar, I don't just put things that happened to me or things that I experienced. I also put like scriptures or sayings, or if someone said something to me that impacted me, motivated me, inspired me, that all goes into my gratitude jar.
Yeah.
But it was talking about how you can find your happiness through finding your gratitude.
Yes, it simple as that. Like, it allows us to do multiple things. Like, and happiness is number one on that list. Like, being grateful and understanding gratitude allows you to be happier, allows you to strengthen relationships, improve your health, and reduce stress. So some of the things we spoke about briefly, this is what gratitude does for us. Because in terms of like health is a big thing right now. I have a study right here. It's multiple studies, but just to read a few things for you, because right now, I'm on a health kick. The world seems like on a health kick because you see them throwing stuff away that we're no longer using this and that. But something we already have, similar to we talked about increasing income. But in terms of gratitude, a study that was named Counting Blessing versus Burdens. It showed that keeping a gratitude journal, what you alluded to, the people that reported had 16% fewer physical symptoms. They had 19% more time spent exercising. So, you want to get in the gym, that you have a 20% more chance.
Yeah, mental exercise is important.
If you start with gratitude, 10% less physical pain, 8% more sleep, and also 25% sleep quality increasing. So you have, like, looking at those little items there, that's some of the biggest ailments that we face. And also one that stuck out to me is they did a study with, the study was called Gratitude, the Effects on Perspective and Blood Pressure. So patients with hypertension were instructed to count their blessings for 1 week. And they had a significant decrease in the systolic blood pressure readings. And, for the medical people out there, that's the reading that you can control, right? Is that right, Latasha? I just want to double check. Yeah, right? Make sure I'm not putting nothing out there wrong. But understanding that you can control that, but you also control yourself being grateful. So therefore, you just increase your health by your mental capacity, how you approach gratitude.
And so let's talk about some ways to be consistent with your gratitude practice. Because we understand that things that are habitual, sometimes life just happens.
Yes.
Life gets in the way. Mental contrasting is very important for consistency. Looking at things like, okay, I'm excited about this. I really want to add this to my day-to-day life, but also looking at the realistic nature of your life.
Okay.
For example, if you know that you have to go through a 12 to 15-hour day and you're going to be exhausted at the end of the day, don't put your gratitude practice at the end of the day. Do it first thing in the morning when you work and when you wake up.
Yes.
If you're like me and you know that you're not a morning person and you're moving very slow in the morning, put it in the reverse. Put it in the evening.
Yeah.
But be realistic about where to put this in your life so that you are most consistent with it.
No, I like that.
If you are one of those people that needs to take a time out during your lunch period, take 5 minutes then.
Yeah.
But focus in on what it will take to make this consistent in your life.
No, that's awesome.
Because we have to be realistic that everybody's busy.
Yes.
But you have to, as we talked about in our show before, prioritizing yourself and the things that make your life better.
And that's what it's about. That's what, I'll let y'all in on mine. Mine is I don't know if y'all can hear this, my moment, So when I wake up and I hit that, I'm being grateful. At that point, it's just when you wake up and I put my feet on the floor and I just have to sit there for a little bit. That's when I have that moment, and it gives me clarity, and then it allows you overall to tap into areas that sometimes you're not conscious of really. So one of the areas is like the emotional capacity, because you can be in tune with your emotions a little better when you're grateful. And so a lot of times I sit there and I think from my mother's perspective, like I'm glad my mother's around. We just had Mother's Day. I appreciate my mother, my father, my job. I'm glad I woke up so I can get to work or I can do my tasks that will bring X, Y, and Z. I'm just overall happy. And then what that does in terms of emotional, it allows me not to be jealous. It allows me not to feel envious of anything. It allows me to not complain, because when things happen at the end of the day, and I'm grateful for the things I say I value most, and they're my family, my friends, and some of my belongings that cannot be taken away from me. The love, the kindness cannot be taken away. So at the end of the day, no matter what happens from the remainder of the day while I'm up till I lay down, I can look back and say, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm good.
But that brings us to another thing that we talk about all the time is that how you start your day will impact the momentum for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm a firm believer in is listening to positive words in the morning, affirming yourself in the morning, getting your day started on the right foot, because it really does set the tone. But another practical way of implementing gratitude practice into your life is to be social about it. The gratitude jar actually came to me because my friend Jackie Brown was in a fight for her life, and instead of focusing on the ailments, she focused on everything positive and everything good that she had going on in her life. And she said, you know what, starting on January 1st, I'm going to take a jar and I'm going to put all the things that are love, light, and gratitude that I'm grateful for in this jar. And I'm going to keep this jar all year long. And on December 31st, I'm going to open the jar and review my year, because that will make me know that no matter what happens this year, I've had a good year based on all the things that I'm grateful for. So thank you, Jackie Brown, for this practice.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Yes.
I think that's awesome.
And it really reshaped my thinking, because this is like the 5th year that I've done a gratitude jar.
Wow.
And 2013 was the first year, and it was a tough year. It was a pretty tough year for me. But when I got to the end of the year on December 31st and I was reading through those things, I was like, it's been a great year. Like, look at what I've done. Look at what I've experienced. And I put big things and small things in my jar. So I'm going to let you guys have a little sneak peek of one thing that's in my jar. Let's see. Maybe 2. Let's see.
What you got?
So I have a scripture, Esther 3. She was created for such a time as this. That's something that I hold on to a lot because I feel like in this moment in the world needs the gifts and callings that I have on my life. So that's something that I wrote down. Esther chapter 3.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot all about this. And another thing that I have is Molly May sang me the birthday song.
That's my grandmama.
Yeah. Molly May is Chaz's grandmother. And
no, she's my grandmama.
She's Chaz's grandmama.
Yeah.
She's his grandmama.
Grandmother is just, lineage. Grandmama is what
She's
Molly May is.
Grandmama. And she, I'm working on my Georgia dialect. Mm-hmm. And she called and sang me happy birthday on my birthday song. And that's when I knew I was in the family.
See,
I
that's
knew
cool.
I was in there. So
let grandma know she on the podcast.
Yeah. So I'm very excited about that. But just think, just like that, when you take a moment, you have things that you forgot that happened that were amazing for you.
Yeah,
big or small, because no one gets to tell you what matters to you but you. So don't think that you have to wait for, I got a promotion. Mm-hmm. Oh, let me write that down. No, write down the big things and the small things, the things that encourage you, the things that make you smile, and put them in your gratitude jar.
No, I think that's awesome. And what just came, something just came to me is just that, I don't have my jar with me. I'm sorry. But just being honest, what comes from me, as a lot of times you hear when you speak about personalities, is just, that's just their personality, that's who they are, and that's who I am, and all of those type of statements. But what being grateful and practicing gratitude does, it allows you to develop your personality. It allows for personality growth, because if you don't have this practice, just, listen to the story of your friend who was fighting for their life and instilled this practice in their daily routine. And at the end of the year, looked at what all that she came through. So this is nothing, or this is a small blip on the radar. And just think that may have turned you from being a neutral person or a pessimist. Now you're an optimist. I can get through anything. It doesn't matter. And that's developing your personality, because from something so simple, you haven't went to, to talk to anyone or anything. That's just you being with yourself in tune and just looking at what am I grateful for.
But that brings us to how we always say, everything is contagious, including gratitude. Gratitude
yes, it is
contagious, because when Jackie Brown got excited about her gratitude practice, I was like, you know what? I'm doing that. And it's been 5 years. I think this year is my 5th year of keeping a gratitude jar. And it always makes me so happy. But another thing that happens too is when you are always talking about what you're grateful for, you're always talking about what you're thankful for, people think twice before they bring negativity to you.
Yes, that's so true. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, I'm glad our Facebook fans are still with. Look at Carter 3 on there.
Hey, hi, Carter.
But I'm just, they have all kind of challenges. We need to start a gratitude challenge.
Yes.
And I'm a crazy little boy, so I want, like, if you're at home with your husband or children, just bust in that room and say, what you grateful for? And let them say something. And so we need to take this national. Like, you at a red light, roll your window down and just look at somebody.
Wait,
say, what you grateful
safety
for?
first.
Yeah, safety first. Make sure you have your seatbelt on and smile when you say it. Don't look crazy like I'm looking. But just say, what you grateful for? And then if they say, or they may reply, may laugh. But just think about that.
Okay, so let's start the conversation around gratitude.
Yeah,
that's a call. That's our call to action. Let's start the conversation around gratitude. Ask someone what they're grateful for. In addition to creating your own gratitude journal and or jar.
Yeah.
Go outward, make it social, asking
it
other people, what are you grateful for? Holding other people to, instead of letting people complain and just mope, changing their language, expanding the world, and lifting one another's lifestyle.
No, that's
really cool.
I think that sounds fun. Like,
okay, the gratitude challenge.
The gratitude challenge.
Look for that. We're gonna flush it out a little bit more, and we're gonna put it out there. But
just walking somewhere, walking Walmart, like, what y'all grateful for?
Yeah, but
go anywhere and do it.
When you think about it, that's actually a great idea, because you'll probably, yes, you do have a bunch of them. Ladies, this is a word of advice. Encourage your man. That's another show. We'll get back to that. But but yes, take a moment and ask someone else, a stranger, smile. What are you grateful for today? And then share with them what you're grateful for.
That sounds fun.
Start the conversation, connecting with people authentically and creating the conversation, because a lot of times some of those people haven't even considered what they're grateful for.
Exactly. And then when you say, I'm grateful just for it not raining today, and then even though it's hot, you know what, I'm glad it ain't raining either. Now you're not focused on how hot it is. Then you start thinking, well, we need to go to the beach as a family, we need to do this, because you counteract the negativity of it just being hot. So
start with your family
things.
first. Start with your family
Yeah.
first. Ask your family, and then start with your friends, and make this a social thing.
No, that sounds
and so
cool.
that it expands and it goes large and wide, and tell them to do the exact same. And I'll be looking for how your gratitude practice and or the gratitude challenge.
You Stacy Sam up.
Okay, I'm up
First
for a
one
challenge.
up for the challenge. Let's
All
do
right.
it. Let's
Carter,
do
I
it.
know Carter is always up for a
He up for
challenge.
anything.
You
He's,
know,
he probably
I see.
flipping over tables in the house looking for stuff to say. What you grateful for?
I see Mr. Henderson and Vaughn Jennings, who I know are up for the challenge. We have some powerhouse business people
Yes,
with
we
us
do.
too. I
We
see
do.
the CEO of So Amazing Hair on there with us. So
That's awesome.
you guys go out and share this with your family first,
Yes.
and ask them, what are you grateful for? And listen.
Yeah, listen. That's key.
Actively to what they're grateful for.
Yes.
Take it in for a moment, and then say, you know what? This is what I'm grateful for.
Exactly. I think that's amazing. And, piggybacking on my last show, that's effective communication, because it's leading towards something great, and I think that's awesome.
So before we go to our good news story for the day, I want you guys to all take out your devices, follow us on social media, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, The Lifted Lifestyle, and follow me too. I am at Tasha Spoon on Instagram, and Latasha Weatherspoon on Facebook. You can follow my author and persona page, as well as on Instagram. It's just all things Tasha.
No, that's cool.
On there.
I'm following her.
Thank you.
I think everybody else should too.
Oh, watch out now.
Yay.
See, ladies, what happens when you sewing your man? He sews back. I told y'all that's another show.
That's funny.
Tell us about our good news story for the day.
No, I'm going to tell them where they can find me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can find me on Instagram. I've been on there a good, strong month and a half now. I'm sorry I didn't post in the last couple weeks, but I'm going to get back on it at Creative of Opportunities on Instagram. Twitter is just at Chaz Bailey. So definitely follow me too, and then follow the Lifted Lifestyle, as Tasha said, so we can sow into each other. I think it would be a good thing, and a good place to start that gratitude challenge. I'm going to work on that.
All right. Now to our good news story. Of
now
the
we get to the good news story of the week. It's this third grader. She was born without hands, but she won a national award for penmanship. Like, first of all, we can stop right there without reading the story. And but as you go on for this amazing young girl, first of all, to let you know how prestigious this award was, it's a national award that goes from anywhere from kindergartners through 8th graders. And so this third grader won this award for penmanship. And so she was born without a thumb or fingers. And what she does, she uses her arms to do cursive. And she says she loves to do cursive writing because it's similar to drawing, which is her passion. And so it shows her doing her cursive, and her submission was A1. Like, it was A1. And she says when someone tells her she can't do something, she knows that she can because of all she's been through, therefore being grateful. And so what she did, she basically proved everyone wrong. And here you have it. They're showing her basically drawing, and she said one of her favorite things to do is to draw flowers. And so she won this prestigious award, and this is not her first one. It said in 2016 she won another award for writing. So I think it's on a good thing. And as you see on the screen, that's her teacher speaking. She says that she not only inspired the other students and they cheer her on, everything that she does, but the teacher says that she actually inspired her to how she teaches. And so she made the change in other people. And as we said, our last point, gratitude is contagious. And what you do is overall contagious. So I think what she did is just simply amazing. And you're never limited. you're never limited by what you do. So that gratitude is the key. Is the key.
Wow, that has totally inspired me.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. I hope that you guys have gotten something in this show that encouraged, inspired, motivated, and empowered you.
Yes.
I hope that something we said today helps you to live your life above all limitations. Remember, the gratitude challenge is coming
It's
to
on the
social
way.
media. Keep your eyes out. And until next time, live lifted.